My name is Jed McKeehan, and today we're going to talk about two common terms you hear in the law, and that is plaintiff and defendant. So in a civil case, that means someone is suing another person. You have a plaintiff, the person suing, and you have the defendant, the person being sued. Well, those two names or designations for the parties can take on many different iterations. So if the defendant, say the plaintiff sues the defendant for $10,000. Well, the defendant says, oh yeah, well you owe me $5,000. And the defendant sues them back. That is called a counter-complaint. And the defendant becomes the defendant counter-plaintiff, and the plaintiff becomes the plaintiff/counter-defendant. And there can be other ones as well. If there are multiple defendants and they sue each other, they may have cross complaints against each other, and then they become like a defendant/cross-plaintiff. Or if a plaintiff sues the defendant and the defendant says it was actually somebody else who you didn't sue who's responsible, they become a third-party defendant. So plaintiff sues defendant, defendant then sues a third-party defendant who they say is responsible for the damages to plaintiff. Two other words you may hear often are petitioner and respondent. And those are essentially interchangeable with plaintiff and defendant, although petitioner and respondent, normally you're not seeking monetary relief. It may be something like custody. If someone is petitioning for custody and there is a respondent who's responding to that petition instead of plaintiff defendant. But if plaintiff and defendant are used instead of petitioner or respondent, it's not that big a deal. You can find out more about this legal issue and other legal issues by going to my website, attorney-knoxville.com. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. You can also view my other YouTube videos.